Today, our brain is gonna get bigger because we're gonna learn about space. Or it will not talk about space at all because this is incognito mode. So we may talk about it for like 30 seconds and then end up talking about like ice cream or pencil. Who knows? We may become professional space knowledge havers. You ready?
Space.
Space.
Space. What
Space.
is space? Why do I have to wear a spacesuit? That is so formal.
So you live.
Too cold? Not a problem. I'll just put on a jacket. Why does everyone say you can't go faster than the speed of light? It's super simple. You just go the speed of light and then you push on the accelerator a little more. Oh no. Not the sun. The water will put it out. Hey Alexa,
no.
play Who Let the Dogs Out.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Gone.
I'm afraid I can't
Alexa,
do that.
play the thing. No. Alexa, play Who Let the Dog... Aha. Now I will be
Do you
able to get
think
all...
they have Alexa in the spaceship and the astronauts are like, Alexa, play Jingle Bell. I don't know.
the best nudes. Hey, you should have closed your curtains. Ooh, I wonder what's in there. Oh, hey, how you doing, little fella? Oh, I think he's just sleeping. Aha! I knew it was fake the whole time. All this and more on
Despacito
this
is
episode
very-
of In the...
Space.
Space.
No.
What you know about space?
Who is this? I've never met him. Who is this? This is not Sumito. This is not the other guy with glasses. This is imposter. Ordinary Things? His name is Ordinary Things? Wait, is he the oh no way. He's the main guy from the pirate movie or pirate video. It's nice to see the characters come back. I guess people come back.
Not a lot.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning.
Oh.
Not the beginning of the
The
universe,
beginning?
the beginning of how people thought space was.
Oh, yeah,
That's
so the history of
interesting.
space. Okay, yeah.
So we've got flat Earth, right? Now there's going to be a whole bunch of people in the comments that go, oh, actually, they've known that the Earth was round since the Greeks. We know, everybody knows. No one thinks you're smart, shut up. But there were plenty of societies
I
that
didn't know that. I don't know when we started believing or knowing that the earth is round.
did think that the world was flat. Okay, I saw this in a lecture once, or I overheard it on the bus or something. But this is how it goes. You've got like this circular flat Earth, right? And then you've got
Yeah.
land in the middle. They call this area the Mediterranean because that's the middle land, right? It's
Makes
right in the
sense.
center. And then past the land, you've got water. Now, all that water is mostly fine. But if you go a little further out, there's a lot more water, like a shitload more water. These disc maps you see are not to scale. It goes way further out. But if you try to traverse them, what will happen is sea monsters, right? They'll destroy your ship. Easy.
Dinosaurs.
And you can tell that sea monsters are real because once in a while you get some weird thing that washes up to shore. If somehow you make it past the sea
Proof.
monsters, you
A
encounter
little squid
mud.
is the proof. That's all they need. They are big hats. No.
Just mud?
It's flat mud, and it mixes with the land, so you can no longer pass by it in a boat. So you can try to walk across it, but it's basically like quicksand, you know, you just straight into it. But somehow, if you manage to traverse this plain of mud, which is
Walk
even
forward,
larger than the
forehead.
ocean itself, it would start to get colder and colder. And eventually that mud becomes frozen, and then it turns to ice. And then it's just cold nothingness for far, far longer than all the oceans. And then eventually you come to...
Why did people do this? This is, I guess, interesting to think how people may have discovered Earth, like the rest of the Earth and stuff. But I'm just like, why? Why go all the way out there and walk through mud and walk through ice? I would just stay home. In German, there's a word for it called Wanderlust. It describes urge to discover things. Maybe I don't have a lot of wanderlust in me.
a
Antarctica.
big mountain range. And this
Okay.
mountain range goes right round the Earth. And it is the thing that at the very top holds up the filament, which is the thing that encompasses the stars.
So the mountains go up, and then it like holds the star
Yeah.
canopy above
It
the
holds
Earth.
up the heavens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Half of the model is there to dissuade people from trying to find new things, right? Because if you go out on a boat in the
Trying
ocean,
to stop people with wanderlust.
you die. It's the perfect dissuasion. Hey, look, don't bother trying to discover Australia. If you go out there, you're going to get eaten, then you're going to sink in the mud, then you're going to freeze to death, and then there's also nothing out there. And that's what keeps everyone safe and alive.
You tell the same story to your kid in the village to not go out into the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing.
And that, circling around, is why they tell us not to go to Mars, you see. Don't come back.
I do think we'll colonize Mars. Probably
Okay.
not quite in our lifetime.
You reckon? I
yeah.
think we'll land a person there on Mars in 20 years.
Okay, totally
20
logical, totally lines up. You gotta wonder when whoever made this map got asked, so how'd you know this? I mean, I'm sure the map is more of like many people's work. One person will finish however much, and then another person will finish however much, and we kind of like place them all together, connect them together.
Years. You're a dreamer, internet historian.
A lot of the original impetus for the space race to the moon was out of competition with the Soviet Union, right? Then we beat them and everyone went, nah, can't be bothered. Now we're back at war with China, so I reckon space race back on. Otherwise, China's going to stick a big flag in it and say, actually, you know what, Mars? It's always belonged to China.
Their flag would look better on Mars, just saying.
It'd blend in too much.
It already looks like a flag for Mars. It's got stars on it, and it's red. It's perfect.
That's hard to argue with.
I say give it to them. And let's be real.
Just because of
a
the
lot of
flag
people are probably
design.
going to die colonizing Mars, like, at first. They've got the manpower for it. Everyone will just be fighting over the bit where everyone's landing. It's not like someone will be like, well, I'm going to go over to this part of Mars, and, like, that'll be my part. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay here where the Twinkies and the women arrive.
I think you'd want to sit up at the poles, because that's where all the ice is, right? Resources. But also, because of the rotation of the planet and the angle you come in, it's actually more difficult to land there as well.
I see.
So you would have to actually essentially approach by land.
I
Easier
like
to
the
defend.
sound of
So
that.
you're there
Bonk,
on the
bonk.
ice, you've got all your water, and then you're just picking off anyone who dares to approach one of those Mars rovers. The Curiosity rovers, I would presume.
That would be super fun. So you're saying if you're going to fight for Mars,
Once again, stay home. Stay home. No, going to Mars. I'm like being that guy like earlier where like if you go out there, you're gonna die and get like they're monsters, blah blah blah. And I'm like, stay home. Drink your tea. Stay under the blanket. Yeah, to stay home and be comfy.
stay at the top. So this is mine. I like that. Yeah, solid.
Build a big igloo, big ice
Igloo.
wall. Tell everyone to get the fuck out. That'd be awesome.
It's
love
so
that, yeah.
interesting that Mars has like the ice at the top. I didn't know that. I thought Mars is like hot all around. I didn't know that it has a ice like us has a pole where it's all cold.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
It's 1960s, NASA, and they can't figure out how to get things into space. It's too far up, you see. How do we get past the filament into the stars? Ordinary things, you're our best scientist. You gotta come up with something that'll get us there. What do you got? Ordinary rocket propulsion, perhaps? Mentos and Coke. What's the big new idea?
So this is what I've got so far.
Right? A man kneeling on the ground, praying to get to space. I like it. That's a great idea, Ordinary Things. Let me get you the funding right now.
No, not quite. This is a dog.
What if
See,
it's
my
an
plan
actual
is
design?
A trebuchet.
sort of a
Wait,
trebuchet, yeah.
is this like the dog from Fallout?
Let me show you my idea. You've heard of CERN, right?
Yeah, they got the big underground thing.
Yes.
No,
So
what is
CERN is basically a 25-kilometer ring underground, powered by gigantic magnets that send particles in one direction, getting them faster and faster and faster, and then they send particles in the other direction, and then eventually they let them collide.
Cool.
Now,
Why?
what if you had...
What? Do we have this somewhere in the world? Why would we want to build it? What if it explodes? They're purposely making it spin one way and have other spin the other, so they clash and they explode. But I'm assuming that that creates power. You know, I'm really glad that there are people with wanderlust and whatever this is Wasn't there a guy that accidentally stepped into a... How do you pronounce this? That's crazy. I assume he wasn't okay.
What if you had an extra track
Yes.
that went like this? You got something up to 99% the speed of light, and then you just hit the switch, and then capsule goes whoosh, terminal velocity.
Love that. So you're thinking you build up as much momentum as possible on Earth using magnets rather than rockets.
Yep.
Is it the size of atoms in this
Interesting.
instance? Or
We're gonna have to build a bigger one.
All right, bigger CERN. Got it. All right, massive CERN.
Well, you just make the hole in the middle bigger.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah,
Atom-sized
fine.
hole,
That'll
too
do.
small. The only problem I can see is that we're sending people through the Earth's atmosphere at almost the speed of light. They will immediately explode. I think the solution is to put a dog in it.
Yeah.
Do you know how funny it would be if it was like
Also, imagine if you want to take off like this, you have to spin to build up the momentum and then go. I feel like people cannot handle that. They're gonna just die in the process of spinning that fast. Particle has so much energy, the particle went through his head. Yeah, like people can't survive this.
if it was like a Tuesday and the supervisor was out of the office for the day, and then he kind of came back, oh, I just forgot some of my papers, and he comes in, and the guys at CERN are all gathered around because they're firing great through CERN at a big cartoonish brick wall. Yeah, go Dave, yeah.
I would love to be at the CERN Christmas party where someone's just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do a shit in the CERN. Because that's what it's called, the CERN.
This CERN.
I would find it very difficult not to get in the CERN machine, I think, if I was there.
You got on that blimp. Do you reckon you can get into CERN?
I reckon I could give it a go.
All right, if there's anyone from CERN watching here,
Yeah.
my boy needs a ticket and one for his lady.
I'll email them now. People
Oh,
are
it's
thinking
called
about
CERN.
space travel all wrong. They're rubes, those guys at NASA, I tell you, rubes. They keep trying to send us to space when we
Yeah.
should be sending space to us.
That's not a bad idea at all. Now, space
Do
elevator.
you really want
very,
space sent to us? Do you want to end up like Dino?
very difficult. You build the thing 1,000 kilometers up, and then the tip of it is actually rotating faster than the base of it by differences in like hundreds of kilometers an hour. Tensile strength, whole thing wants to break apart, right? Now, if somehow you could make a big anchor, wait, how do you draw an anchor? Here, it wouldn't need to be one rope, because one rope is not going to stay strong.
2 ropes.
Here's 20 meters of rope, and then a big joint. Here's 20 meters of rope and a big joint. And you just do that all the way
They
back
want to
to Earth.
connect.
Love it.
Okay,
the
you'll need
moon
like
to the
150,000 kilometers worth of
Does
rope.
it have like a highway?
But once you're there, all of a sudden you can just pull things across it, right? What am I missing?
This is dangerous.
There is one thing.
Oh no! And then like at certain point, the gravity will then will shift our Earth too far away from the sun, even a little bit, and then we all freeze to death. This is not gonna work, sir.
I think the moon moves. So what you're going to end up doing is sort of like wrapping the Earth round. That's the one problem. Otherwise, it's flawless.
I've got a solution.
All right.
There's a rail across Earth.
Rail! Oh my god, that's a great idea. That's way better
Oh
than what I
my
was going to say.
gosh.
And then you've got your hook
Oh
in
my
here.
gosh.
It's allowed to slide through the rail.
So in theory, we could like lasso the moon in,
Yes.
bring it to us. Is there any minerals on the moon worth?
Think about the change in tide and all these other things. Come on, this is not a good idea. I was about to say about gravity. Yes, like we move a little bit too far away from the sun, we all freeze. The moon affects the tide of the water. That's gonna go crazy. They're just creating natural disaster. Oh my goodness.
Having any resources?
There is a fair amount of helium and also helium-3.
Well, we are running out of helium, so that is convenient.
There's a pretty good amount of water all over the moon too, so that's why
Oh, I
you know,
didn't
soon
know
there'll
that
be a
wa-
moon base,
moon has
and they'll be able
water.
to collect most of the minerals that they need. for-
Soon there'll be a moon base. They've been promising moon base for years. They've been promising moon base for longer than James Cameron's been promising Avatar, and honestly, sick of this shit.
Well, you know what I'm not sick of? Ad time. How's this for a scenario?
Oops,
You're with your honey,
D&D
and you both have
ad
regular
time.
size heads, but you have to share a headphone.
Oh,
Well,
You lose. The correct answer was to get Raycons. Look, she's with someone new and she's loving the up to 54 hours of battle life and she can't stop putting them in her ears.
Stop it.
The
I
silky
hate
rubber
the
finish
noise
is
too
rigged for her
now.
pleasure. Alright, pub quiz hotshot. It's Black Friday and it's time to stomp some heads. You gotta win her back by getting her some kind of present. But you don't want to spend too much money because she might have moved on. What do you do?
Well,
Get the Raycons. They're half the price of other premium brands, but still sound pretty good. Go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get them. Look, this guy loves them. Alright, one final scenario. You're walking down the street and you see a homeless man. And he asks you for a donation. You've only got
give the
one thing on you
earbuds.
that's of any value. What do you do?
This music, man.
Take advantage of the noise reduction?
That's right. You have earned the good ending, where you can enjoy the premium sound of Raycons forever. We've got a computer here too where you can go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get 20% off site-wide. Whoa, 30% off holiday bundles. Whoa, this really is heaven. And free shipping to the United States.
Hesitate. Alien box.
Say you had a box and you put it on like a little satellite that you were going to send to an alien
Yeah.
planet. Like, what
Okay.
items would you put in there to represent like human
So we're
civilization?
Good
doing
question.
delivery to
How big's the box?
aliens.
Let's say it's the size of like a caravan.
Oh, big. Okay,
Okay,
definitely
large.
a person then.
Okay, just like a
Like-
dude, like a dead guy, or
No.
just
Yeah, they can be dead. That's fine.
that's not a bad idea.
But
like
why
a
would
dead
we
guy
send our
who's like
people there?
kept from oxygen so he doesn't rot. So they've got like a fully
I'll
preserved.
just keep him in a cardboard box. So,
Just dump it.
yes, so
We
that,
don't have the budget for something bigger.
I like the idea that when they just open up the flaps of the cardboard box, they ooh.
Oh my god.
I suppose you'd have a man and a woman.
yeah.
A phone.
A phone, like an iPhone.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to give them the latest one because they don't know.
An iPhone 5 with a cracked screen.
Yeah,
All right.
It's not like they're going to start using it.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck it.
I'd probably get rid of just some trash. There's quite a lot of trash around.
And some
Just giving
batteries.
Yeah,
aliens
because
or
you can't dispose
trash.
of batteries anywhere.
Yeah.
Bottle of Coke, full bottle. I kind of like the idea that you're... Okay, so you know when you're a pirate, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm familiar.
And you're
Hey! I see it. I see the hat.
burying treasure. Someone finds it 500 years later and they go, wow, this is not just a historical find. I'm going to be rich.
Love that.
I like the idea that they find a couple of human corpses, but also half a dozen bottles of Coca-Cola. There's going to be some rich one who's like, bruh, yeah, I'll pay you 50 billion alien pesos for half a bottle or something.
I think that's the first actually like really good suggestion for the alien box. I mean, fuck
But did
Coca-Cola.
you notice their cups floating to fit the space topic?
But it's also a very popular drink and like a good representation of Western
yeah.
society. It's everywhere in the world. Great. And also, they might be pleased. They're like, oh, this is a treat. Or maybe it'll kill them. But great suggestion.
Thank you. Maybe also...
Thank you.
Music, I reckon.
Music?
Mozart on a vinyl.
Okay. On a
another good one.
vinyl, no
A handgun?
way.
Yeah, just to
Why
show
are we
them that we
giving
mean
them a
business
car?
would be
No.
good.
Yeah, well, we'll rig it
The
up to a
laughter.
tripwire. Don't touch my stuff. All right, you're stuck in
Spacesuit.
space. You're floating around.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
Loving it.
You're in a spacesuit. I come floating up to you. I go, ordinary things. Help.
Oh no, there's a
help.
hole.
My oxygen tank has been pierced. I'm gonna die.
Ooh. Oh, that sucks for you.
No, that's not what you say. Now, we've got just enough time. Quick, we can both survive, but we're gonna both have to get into the
He's like,
same
no. That's not how I want the story to go. I want a skill issue as a mage.
spacesuit.
Oh, I've been tricked like this
The
before.
eyebrow movement.
So we have to both squeeze in there. The question is,
No,
are
he
you
wants to share the suit. No, it's too small.
taking the front or the back?
I'll take the front, I think. I'd rather be in the driver's seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you.
Oh, sorry, this
How
was
did
not-
they even transition into this guy's suit? This is not an option, surely. He has to get out of the suit to get into this one, and then they have to open this one to get them in here. There is a big plot hole here.
wallet, I swear.
It's not gay if it's on the moon.
Yeah, like legitimately, like you come back to Earth and they'll go, no, it wasn't. It's the moon. It doesn't count at all.
It doesn't count. No.
Neil
wasn't
Armstrong
on
and Buzz
Earth.
Aldrin, they could have done it on the moon.
Yeah.
That
Listen,
wouldn't
survival comes first.
be considered gay. And then I suppose like,
we were lovers on the moon. You know, that's different.
someone shut this man up.
Expression.
Right, someone comes to you and says, ordinary things. You may see the universe, but we can't travel faster than the speed of light, so you have to go into the cryopod.
Ah, the old time delay.
Yes, you can go to Alpha Centauri, but it will take 100 years and everyone you know will be dead. Do you do it?
I don't want to just be like launched into the equivalent of Mars in Alpha Centauri and just be like, well, I'm here and I'm dead. I'm fucked.
No, they don't just drop
Like-
you off. You get to go on like a nice big ship. Maybe there's a nice lady there who's also frozen.
A nice little lady, a nice A-list celeb lady who is inexplicably an astronaut, as in all those movies.
Yeah, and you wake her up
Yeah.
early and because you woke up early and uh-oh.
What movie is
Welcome.
Yeah,
Whoopsie, but you don't have another choice, so you have to be my friend.
Would you do it? Would you want to be one of the crew that goes to Alpha Centauri?
I think I would. I think it's worth it to go do something that literally no one else has done before. I'm down.
Yeah, I think I would too.
No, I am down for staying home with my comfy drink and comfy blankie and cute games and fun games. I'm down for that over going over to Mars and getting dropped off and then and my family all gone by then by the time I get there. No sir.
Yeah.
If you were one of the first people to Alpha Centauri, you'd just have thousands of things named after you forever.
The whole planet. You get the planet. If,
Yeah.
if you're the first one there, it's like, this is me land, baby.
Yeah.
No governments. Money is banned. And I haven't thought this through.
You know, if you look at a place like Earth, every creek, every little nook or rock has a name to it. They did that like when people first came to Australia, and I can't help but notice that everything here is named either Murray or after Batman or
After Batman. Wait.
yeah, you don't know about everything being called Batman here?
No, that's new to me. That's
Oh, there's
news.
this guy. His name's like John Batman, and so there's like a Batman River and like a Batman
No way.
street
You're kidding.
in middle of Melbourne.
No way.
No
John
way.
Batman. Oh my god, I'm looking him up now. What?
Look, in the past, how long did it take for people to get from England to Australia? What was it like?
Oh, like a month.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's like
Go back.
past. How long did it take for people to get from England to Australia? What was it like?
Oh, like a month.
Yeah, a couple of months.
The first one took over 8 months to get to Australia. Gotcha. Coolest name? Yeah, Batman is last name. That's something I did not expect. It sounds made up.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how long does it take to get to Mars? At optimal speed, I think 9 months.
The Perseverance rover took 7 months to get to Mars. NASA estimates human would take 9 months to arrive. That's not that bad. I expected it to be longer.
So what you're saying is that we should put all our criminals on Mars.
Hey, it worked once.
Did it though?
How come Australia doesn't get a bit of a pass with a lot of its history?
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the terrible things that were done to the Aboriginals. But it's like, okay, but have you seen the average criminal reoffending rates? What did you expect?
Yeah, it's not like we sent them our best. It's just... I've never thought about it like that, but that's honestly like a really decent argument for giving Australia a pass. But like,
Yeah, although it means they did all this stuff while they were out on probation.
I'm kind of confused.
Now, everybody goes, oh, what the heck? Why'd you demote Pluto from planet to dwarf planet?
yes.
And I can't help but agree.
Yeah.
So, basic.
They sent prisoners to Australia. It's an actual thing. Who sent prisoners to Australia? Australia started as a prison colony for... Oh, okay, that makes sense. They just like let them loose on the land and they took over and just made a country. And that's why they named places Batman.
They had an idea in mind to make Pluto not a planet, and then they changed all the rules to make it fit their space-based agenda.
Celestial identity politics have gone too far. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this injustice for Pluto? Pluto did nothing wrong. I love the name Pluto. Why did they mistreat Pluto? It must orbit a star. It must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape. It must be big enough that its gravity cleared away any other object of a similar size near its orbit around the sun. Is the third thing what it failed to do? They just made up this rule and kicked Pluto out of the planet committee.
There's 3 rules for a planet. Number 1, it must orbit a star.
I'm
Okay,
reading that-
very
they're
good.
reading
We're
it
all on
again,
board for that,
sorry.
and that's one of the old rules.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
can accept that. Asteroids, not planets. Cool.
Yeah.
Number 2, it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape. Agreed. That's a brilliant one.
Fine,
Yeah, we
I'll
like
accept
it
that. But if
round.
we see a cube
Round
planet
planet.
at some point, then I feel like we will need to revisit this rule. But as it stands, fine.
Yeah, if there was something as big as Earth but somehow cube, they'd change the rules
See,
again.
Earth.
this
Yeah,
is not
now, the new rule
Minecraft.
they brought in was it must be big enough that its gravity clears away any other objects of similar size in its orbit.
Bullshit.
That is a very specific rule, just designed to persecute Pluto.
The personal target to Pluto. They're like, oh, everyone else does it but Pluto, so we're gonna include this rule.
Come up with this rule.
Well, it was a big committee made up of the deep space state. And one of the reasons that they essentially made this rule was because, well, Pluto actually has a moon that's almost the same size as Pluto. So Pluto wouldn't even just be one planet, it would be like several planets. But also, out in the Oort cloud, there are probably similar sized planets to Pluto, but hundreds, maybe thousands of them.
I see.
And so actually, even in our own given solar system, there would be thousands of them. So what they're running into is a naming problem. Because, well, we can't teach kids that there are thousands of planets. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, turns out there are thousands of planets, and a lot of them are really boring and far away. Okay, but here's the main 9.
So they were like, oh, there are too many ones like Pluto. Let's just not get into this. Let's just kick them out now.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the big planets and the small planets and be done with it?
There's also a couple of objects in the Kuiper Belt, I think, that would suddenly qualify as planets. So
This is crazy. That makes me think. I mean, I know the space is big, but it makes me think of it even bigger. There are so many other ones like Pluto.
Ceres would suddenly become a planet.
Ceres? What even is Ceres? Oh, Ceres. Oh, okay. But that's clearly a moon. It looks like a moon.
Well, it's not what it looks like, it's how it acts, isn't it? It's in the orbit between Mars and Jupiter.
Oh, what? Why don't we just make Ceres a planet
Yes,
instead?
absolutely.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I just get
We
straight
can have like 100 planets. Who cares? You can't remember all of them. We can name like the ones we already know as like the OG planets. We can just learn about like a bunch of planets that's out in the world or out in the space. I feel like that's more accurate way to actually teach the space as well.
I've never heard a series before. In a way, I
Me
feel like you've
neither.
just made this up to make me look strange. Wait, what's make?
Maki Maki.
Maki. Is that a type of sushi?
No way.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's another planet that's just further out.
Oh, I love
What
it.
if planets are like Dino? We can discover new ones every week and then we can name planets after whatever you want.
Cute.
I mean, it's a dwarf planet, but...
Why does one of them have boobies?
Oh, this one.
Wait, what?
There's no need for that. Come on.
Eris? Oh, it's a dwarf planet as well.
I'm learning new things here.
Well, no more learning. It's time for some answers, damn it.
Wait, what? Oh.
Big question
That's
time.
so
Ordinary
interesting.
things.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Are there any-
know. I didn't know that there's so many Pluto-like planets in between Mars and like other main planets. If people can learn every Pokemon, they can learn Churro, they can learn every planet. We're just gonna create a Pokemon that represents each planet. Then people will remember. Are there any aliens?
Aliens.
No.
All right. Is the universe
Moving on.
infinite?
It's like a bike wheel. Technically, it's infinite, but you just end up where you were in the first place.
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
Is there a god?
Yes, and it's me. Suck my...
There we go. Will we ever find out all of the mysteries of the universe?
What if we already have?
I'll tell you what it is. The real answer is love. And that's all you need.
Space or
Oh,
love,
yeah.
which is bigger? And if you could only have one, what would you have?
What about space love?
Is that like 0G shagging?
Yeah, or where you're on the moon and someone says like, "Oh, I love you." It's like kind of non-committal.
Wait, but they said that what happens on the moon is not real. So if you have love on the moon, it's not real. Then it's sad.
And they don't really hear you on the radio, and you go, "What?" And they go, "Oh, nothing, over."
What if you're on the moon and then they go into kiss and then they accidentally shatter their space helmets?
I thought I was just gonna tap. Oh no, they really risked their life for this love.
Oh, like two people vigorously doing cheers.
Yes.
No.
Moon love turns to moon tragedy.
You know, it must happen all the time. On the moon? In the
No,
future,
it doesn't. It
we'll
does not
all
have
have
to happen all
Raycons.
the time. You know, I'm actually impressed. I am impressed that they stayed on topic throughout the entire video. This is a one-of-a-kind incognito in the field video. Clap!